Hey guys, it's Liz. I'm here today to share with you another project. This time I decided to alter a little heart-shaped box. And this box is just a little paper mache box that I picked up at a garage sale for 25 cents. Can't beat that, right? And it's pretty small. It's not a big one. So if you know, my hands obviously. But it's pretty small, and what I really liked about it is that it had a lining all along the sides and on the top of corrugated board. You can see some of it here, and I really liked that detail, so I knew I definitely had to show that on my box. So what I did is I wanted to make this heart box a little bit grungy. So, you know, you're obviously going to see that a little bit. But, okay, so I started off with the paper mache box. I painted the box with a dry brush in black because I wanted to pick up, you know, all the ridges from the corrugated board. So I painted it black inside and out, and then I used, this is the beautiful Prima Almanac paper. It's one of my favorites. And I just love the pink and black color combo, so I definitely had to include that. And I lined the box with the Almanac paper, and I used a combination of the 6x6 paper pad and the 12x12, simply because these, the sides were obviously going to be a lot bigger than 6x6, so I needed the 12x12 on that. And so what I did is I adhered the paper all over my box. Okay, here you go. Okay, and I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to definitely show that corrugated board underneath. So what I did to get this effect here, I just wet my finger, my thumb, and after adhering the paper with the Mod Podge, I wet my thumb and then just lightly rubbed on the paper. And so it just started, you know, coming apart, and it just revealed the bottom, which is the corrugated board that was painted, and obviously it took some of the paint away so you could see the craft color. I really like that. And the way it, you know, it started ripping apart, you know, I just went ahead and rubbed it on the edges. It also revealed the white from the paper, and so I really like that effect. Very grungy, right? So I like that. I did that in a couple of different places along the heart, as you can see. There you go. And I just knew I had to show the corrugated board, so I definitely wanted to show that. That's why I took some of the paper off, but very cool. And let's see, the bottom is also lined in the paper. There we go. And I added these cute little feet. These are just like these little wood, they almost look like little knobs. They're not, you know, very high. They're kind of low. So I painted them black, and I added them, 3 of them, for the little feet. All my edges are inked with the black soot. Okay, and let's see. So once I adhered all the papers, you know, to the top, the bottom, and the sides, and I rubbed some of the paper off, I then went ahead and added some trim. I wanted lots of bling. So first I added this black pleated trim here to the top, the lid of the box, and then I went ahead and added this beautiful bling. Love the bling. I added some on top over the pleated trim, and then I also added some at the bottom. I really like that. It's very pretty. And let's see, moving on. And then I went ahead and started embellishing. I wanted to have a lot of embellishments, and what I did is, after I adhered the this top piece here, I took part of it off, not off, but I took part of it here on the heart part, and I rolled it back. I'm sure you guys can see it right there. See? It's rolled back. And this was the 6x6 paper, and as you all know, the 6x6 paper pad is not double-sided, so I didn't want the white part of the paper to show. So all I did is I took another piece, like a scrap piece of paper from, you know, another one of the 6x6 papers, and I glued it to the back of the first one. So that's how you see the script paper. It's just part of the Prima Almanac 6x6 pad. So I added that on there, I curled it back, I used my hot glue to make sure it stayed in place, and then I went to town just using all sorts of goodies here in the background. I started off, and let me show you here, I started off by using this tool here, and I just kind of pleated it in the back, and then I went, I glued it on with my hot glue, and then I took my scissors and just kind of snipped along the edges, see? To give it like a more distressed look. I didn't want it to be a little perfect fan, so to speak. So I added the tool, and then I went ahead and added everything else that you see. So these This here was fussy cut from the 6x6 paper pad. I crinkled it up, distressed the edges, added black soot, and then just kind of put them back here. And it says Eternal Love, very cute. And then here we have a little Tim Holtz light bulb that I added on there. This is the chipboard clock that comes from the collection. And I had to cut part from the bottom so it would lay deeper within that little the little curve here. So I added that here. This is also fussy cut from the paper, the 6x6 paper pad. And again, just wrinkled it up in my finger, using my fingers, distressed the edges, used some black soot, and then there's gesso over it. I went over pretty much everything with just a light coat of gesso, not covering it completely, but you know, just little dabs here and there. So, okay, that's that, and let's move on. This is a cute little key that I picked up at Michael's. This is from their $2 bin. Very cute. These are the nice new little metal pieces that they've got. So I picked that up. I adhered it on there and used a little bit of gesso on it. Here, back here, this is like a little bauble. Kind of looks like a, the cameo shape, but it's like lace. It's I don't know if you guys can see that. See? Very neat. It's like a lace pattern. So I had to add that on there. Again, I put some gesso on top of that. And then let's see, I missed something back here. Oh, here we go. This is just like a little gem. This I picked up. It's a Recollections gem from all the new Recollection stuff. And if you guys haven't checked that out at Michael's, it's really neat. They've got a lot of nice new stuff from Recollection. So pick that up there. And then I've got a pearl strand that goes in like that and over the little curve here and down the side. Okay. And then inside the rolled piece of paper, I added these pretty feathers, these black feathers. I love working with feathers. And these are cute. So I added one on this side and one over here on the other side. There we go. Okay, and let's see, what else? Where did I leave off? Okay, so anyways, so got feathers. And then here, this was also fussy cut from one of the papers. And again, just wrinkling it up. Black soot on the edges. Distressed it with my distress tool. Added a little bit of gesso. This was also fussy cut from the collection. I did use glossy accents on that little crown just to make it stand out more. Okay. And inked all the edges in black soot. And then here we have some pretty flowers. This is a little black flower from my stash. Actually, no, I take that back. It was white. And I used the Lindy Stamp Gang Midnight Rendezvous Raven to color it black. There we go. And I wanted it to be very shimmery. And the camera's not showing all the shimmer, but it really is very shimmery. This one and the white one as well. And then I used gesso over the edges of the petals. Here we have a beautiful I Am Roses flower. I left white, but I did use the Lindy Stamp Gang Scintillating Silver to make it shimmer. There we go. And again, I used gesso on the petals. And let's move on. We all know what this guy is. I love these little fracture dolls by Tim Holtz. They're so cute, and I knew I had to add him on there because I wanted it to look like Cupid. See, I gave him little wings. And these guys, they're very shiny and plastic looking. So I applied 2 coats of gesso to him. I wanted him to look like a little statue. So I applied 2 coats of gesso, and after that dried, I went over him very, very lightly with my black soot ink to pick up all the little details, like, his face and his hair, because I wanted that statue look. Okay? I really like the way he came out. Very nice. And, these little wings are just from the Tim Holtz, I think they're called adornments or something like that. And I dry brushed black over the wings, and then I lightly went over them with the gesso to pick up the details of the wings. Okay, and then I glued them in the back. So, got my little Cupid. Very cute. Here I have another little black rose for my stash. It was white. I used the Midnight Rendezvous Raven and Starburst spray, and then some gesso over the top. And here we have that other feather. And then here we have, that pearl strand that comes around on the sides. There we go. I used some bling. This is some bling from Michael's. I just cut it up into little pieces. I've got a piece there. I've got another piece tucked away over here. And then we got the bling going on over here on this side. And let's see, all the paper, as you can see, is distressed in black soot, and all the edges were distressed. And then I used some paint, just a couple of drops of black paint with a couple of drops of water to dilute it. And then I used my paintbrush and I splattered all these black paint drops all over it. And there's some on the front, on here, and also on the sides, because I wanted it to, look a little bit grungy. See, lots of black paint splotches all throughout. Very nice. I think I covered everything from the top, guys. I really like it. It's very, very cute. And the inside, I just kept it pretty simple. The inside, again, was painted black. Let's see if I can open this. I always have a hard time opening it because I think, let me see. I guess when I painted it, it kind of, it bends a little. There we go. So the inside's just black. And, I just added the paper to the insides, and I splattered paint inside as well, so I can get splotches. There we go. Very nice. So that is my little heart-shaped box. I think it's very cute. It came out really, really nice. And I like how it's all grungy and stuff, but at the same time it's like delicate and elegant with the feathers and all the bling. And then I've got some, black splotches of paint on him. So I really like it. It's very cute. I'm not sure if I'm going to give this one away or if I'm going to keep it, but we'll see. And I really like this little technique that I did. And again, it's really, really easy. Just wet your finger and rub some of that paper off. It's really cool to reveal, like if you've got something special going on underneath, like if you did a special, like a mask or something like that. But I just wanted to do it to show the corrugated board. I really like that. Very cool. So anyways, guys, that is my box. I hope you like it. Oh, you know what? I did forget these pearl sprays. How can I forget those? These black pearl sprays are just from the wedding section at Hobby Lobby. And I added just one there and one over here. So, very cool. Hope you guys like my box. If you have any questions, let me know. And you guys, thank you so much for your continued support and the sweetest comments you guys leave me. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.